Have you ever wondered why people do the things they do? It's a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries. From the simplest actions to the most complex decisions, our behavior often seems mysterious, even to ourselves. Why do we sometimes say one thing but do another? This contradiction is a common part of the human experience. We make promises we don't keep, set goals we don't achieve, and often act against our own best interests. Why do we desire things that might not be good for us? Whether it's indulging in unhealthy foods, engaging in risky behaviors, or yearning for material possessions, our desires can lead us astray. These conflicting impulses are part of what makes us human. These are the kinds of questions that a philosopher named Slavoj Žižek asks. Zizek delves into the complexities of human nature, exploring why we act the way we do and what drives our decisions. He wants us to think deeply about ourselves and the world around us. By examining our thoughts, actions and motivations, Zizek encourages us to gain a deeper understanding of our own behavior. Zizek is like a playful detective, using his mind to solve the mysteries of human behavior. He approaches these questions with curiosity and a sense of humor, making complex ideas accessible and engaging. He doesn't give us easy answers. Instead, he challenges us to think critically and question our assumptions. This process can be uncomfortable, but it's also enlightening. Instead, he makes us laugh and think at the same time. Through humor and wit, Zizek breaks down complex philosophical concepts, making them relatable and thought-provoking. He wants us to question everything, even our own desires. By doing so, we can uncover the deeper truths about ourselves and the world we live in. This journey of self-discovery is at the heart of Zizek's philosophy. Slavoj Žižek grew up in a small country called Yugoslavia. Imagine a land of mountains and rivers where people spoke different languages and had different traditions. This is where young Slavoj started to think about big ideas. Life wasn't always easy in Yugoslavia. People lived under strict rules, and they couldn't always say what they thought. But Slavoj was a curious boy, always asking questions and challenging the way things were. He loved reading books and watching movies, searching for hidden meanings and secret messages. During Zizek's youth, his country was influenced by an ideology called communism. This ideology was pervasive, shaping not just politics, but also the everyday lives of people. It dictated what was acceptable to think, say and do, creating a uniformity that stifled individual expression and creativity. Imagine communism like a big, strong curtain covering a window. This curtain was thick and heavy, blocking out the light and only allowing a narrow, controlled view of the outside world. It was as if the curtain was designed to keep people from seeing the full spectrum of possibilities and ideas that existed beyond it. The people behind the curtain could only see the world through the lens of this ideology. Their perspectives were limited, and their understanding of the world was filtered through the doctrines and principles of communism. This created a kind of intellectual confinement where alternative viewpoints and new ideas were often suppressed or ignored. Zizek learned about different ways of thinking, like psychoanalysis, a way of understanding our minds and hidden desires. Psychoanalysis, pioneered by figures like Sigmund Freud, offered a radically different approach to understanding human behavior and thought. It delved into the unconscious mind, exploring the hidden motivations and desires that influence our actions and beliefs. Imagine psychoanalysis like a key that unlocks the secrets of our dreams and thoughts. This key could open doors to new realms of understanding, revealing the complexities and contradictions within our own minds. It was a tool that allowed Zizek to see beyond the rigid structures imposed by the dominant ideology. Zizek realized that there was more to the world than what was presented behind the curtain. He began to see the limitations of the ideological framework that had shaped his upbringing. This realization was like drawing back the curtain and letting the sunlight flood in, illuminating the hidden corners of his mind and the world around him. He wanted to pull back the curtain and let the light shine in. This desire to uncover the truth and explore new ideas became a driving force in his intellectual journey. By challenging the status quo and questioning the established norms, Zizek sought to bring clarity and insight to a world that had been obscured by ideological shadows. Zizek was fascinated by how our unconscious mind, the part of ourselves we're not always aware of, influences our actions. He believes that talking about our thoughts and feelings is like untangling a knot. He learned from a famous thinker named Sigmund Freud that sometimes we do things without understanding why. Freud's ideas helped Zizek understand how our hidden desires shape our choices and relationships. Through psychoanalysis, Zizek encourages us to talk, to question, and to understand ourselves better. Section 5. Movies and meaning-finding philosophy in unexpected places. Zizek is not your typical philosopher who stays hidden away in universities. He loves popular culture, movies, books, even jokes. He believes we can find deep philosophical ideas in the most unexpected places. Think of your favorite movie. Zizek would ask, what does it tell us about ourselves? What messages are hidden beneath the surface? He shows us that philosophy isn't just about dusty books. It's about understanding the world around us, including the stories we tell and the entertainment we enjoy. Section 6. The real and the imaginary, like chocolate and cake. One of Zizek's key ideas is the difference between the real and the imaginary. This concept is central to understanding his philosophy and how he interprets human behavior and society. The real represents the tangible, the concrete, the things we can touch, taste and experience directly. It's the world as it exists, independent of our perceptions and desires. Imagine you're looking at a delicious chocolate cake, the rich, velvety texture, the glossy icing, the way it sits invitingly on the plate. All of these are aspects of the real. You can see it, smell it, and if you take a bite, you can taste it. This is the cake in its most literal, physical form. The cake itself, the taste, the texture, that's the real. It's the direct experience of the cake, unmediated by any thoughts or feelings. When you bite into it, you experience the sweetness, the moistness, the chocolatey goodness. This is the real in Zizek's terms, the actual unembellished experience. But our desire for the cake, the way we imagine it, will make us feel that's the imaginary. The imaginary is all about our perceptions, our fantasies, and our desires. It's the way we think about the cake before we even take a bite. We might imagine it will bring us immense pleasure, comfort, or even happiness. Zizek argues that we often chase after the imaginary, the idea of something, rather than confronting the complexities of the real. We build up these fantasies in our minds, believing that achieving them will bring us satisfaction. However, the reality is often more complicated and less satisfying than our imaginations lead us to believe. He encourages us to see the world with clear eyes, to strip away the layers of fantasy and desire that cloud our vision. By doing so, we can better understand the true nature of our experiences and the world around us, to understand our desires, and to engage with the world as it is, not just how we want it to be. This means recognizing the difference between our fantasies and reality, and learning to appreciate the real for what it is, rather than constantly chasing after the imaginary. Section 7. Zizek today. Why he matters. Today, Zizek is like a rock star philosopher, traveling the world, giving lectures and challenging people to think differently. He encourages us to question everything, our leaders, our desires, even our own beliefs. In a world facing challenges like climate change and social injustice, Zizek's ideas are more relevant than ever. He reminds us that we have the power to change the world, but first we must understand ourselves and the systems we live in. Section 8. Your turn to think. What do you really desire? Zizek wants us to be curious, to ask difficult questions and to never stop learning. He shows us that philosophy is not just for academics, it's for everyone. It's about understanding ourselves, our relationships and the world around us. So, the next time you watch a movie, read a book or even eat a piece of cake, remember to ask yourself, what does this tell me about myself? What am I really desiring? What can I do to make the world a better place?